G'day guys, Mossy here. Hey look, I'm going out on a ride tomorrow and I'm going to call this video, what do you check before you go out on your bike for a day ride, 2-day drive, ride, whatever it is. So this is like, I don't know, pre-start your bike, what do you check? So I'm just going to go quickly through what I do. There's no right or wrong way on what to check. Everyone's got a bit different of what they do. And the reason I'm doing this, I've been on rides recently where we've had people on our rides with no mechanical experience, which is absolutely fine, and they have older motorcycles. Like they might have a really old XT 650 or a DRC 650 or an old 250 or something like that, and they haven't got the mechanical experience to keep it reliable, or they take it to the shop and pay lots and lots of money to maintain these bikes, because as they get older, as you know, bikes need to be maintained more. So just something to be aware of. So yeah, I've been on a couple of trips where we've had some guys with some older bikes, and absolutely fine. I have no issues at all with helping people with their bikes. I have limited mechanical experience, but I know enough. So we're just going to go through what I normally check, and we'll go from there. So got the old. So obviously the very first thing, and I'm going on a ride tomorrow, South Australia. So I'm going to go up the Unundana Mari track in South Australia, right out the middle of nowhere. So what do I check on my bike? Obviously, I'm going to start it up. I'm going to warm the oil up. I'm going to check the oil levels. I'm going to check all the fluids. Obviously, fill the tank up with fuel. There's so many guys I go on with rides and we'll go, oh, let's leave it this time. And we all meet. Oh, wait a minute. We all have to go and get fuel. Sometimes if they're doing that over and over and over, it can be a bit tiring. You know, if you're going to go for a ride, respect people's time and go, okay, we're all going to leave at, say, 8 o'clock, whatever. Let's meet up here. Go and get all your fuel before then. Or they'll go, oh, shit, I forgot. I need fuel. People laugh at it, but sometimes it can get really annoying as well. So other things I check on my bike, tyre pressures, and we'll go through that soon. On this, if I'm going to ride off-road like I am going to tomorrow, I ride my back and rear at 27 psi. I've got a Motos Rally Z. They love to be run a little bit lower. I think in the Ducati owner's manual they recommend 28. So I run 27 front rear, and if I'm on the road I'll run about 30. So some of the things that I've come across over the years, last time I went out, one of these come loose and I was a dum-dum and left my tools at home. So I'm just checking things like, you know, are the mirrors nice and tight, your mounts for brake levers, clutch levers. Obviously I'm going to check the chain tension. Okay, I'm going to check the chain tension, that's a little bit loose. I'm going to give it an oil, mention tire pressures, and any other thing that I think that I can just double check and go over and just check the nuts and bolts are nice and tight. Because the last thing you want is to get out on a trail, you're halfway through your day and stuff starts falling off your bike. It's happened to me before because I didn't quite check everything. The other things I'll take is, normally I've got my tank bag. Now I did my last video and I just take I've got Kroger, so I use a tank bag everywhere I go. That's my kit. So we'll quickly just go through the kit, because last time I did a quick video on my last ride, that was a couple of weeks ago, and someone said, oh, what about, you know, going through what tools you take? Now I don't get overboard with taking tools. I mean, you can't take tools for every single scenario. And if you have a major breakdown, then what I'm going to do is keep a lot of phone numbers stored in my phone or in my InReach, so I can actually contact someone, whether it be a bike shop, friends, family, whoever it is, that can come and help you out in the middle of nowhere with a bike trailer. So if you have a major failure, you can't carry tools for that. So the biggest things obviously is I'm going to have air compressor. I'll just pull out all this stuff and chuck it out here on what I carry. Tools, straps, stuff for the rear to adjust the chain if it does something weird. And that's pretty much it. I don't go overboard, guys. So my little compressor here, this is actually pretty good. I'll just sit this down for a sec. So this is a real basic compressor. Has enough power to pretty much pump up a tyre from flat. And it's supposed to do it 10 times. That's what it says in here. So, and on there I've got all my presets. So I've got presets from 27 PSI right up to about 34. So you can just put it on your preset and away you go. Also, Desert X got a big rear nut on the rear axle. I bought these from these guys. They do them for just about all bikes. So they come with the rear, and you know, on their website they'll do them for Teneras, they'll do them for KTMs, not just the Ducati. They'll do them for everything. You know, all these levers sort of go together, and so you can lever your front and rear axle nuts off. So they just go in 2 small bags. The other thing I carry is a tie. You can tow a bike. If it goes off the side, you can help your mates out. You can drag someone's bike up the hill if you need to, or tow someone. Or a lot of these bikes don't come with a center stand, so if you want to do some work on it, you got a flat tire, you want to take the rear axle off, you can tie that around a tree and you can wrench it up on the side stand. So that's what I do. And I think Adam Riemann on his channel, he's got how to put one of these around a tree and then bring your bike up onto the stand so you can get the rear axle off. They can do it front and rear. So I'll just chuck those up there. Just doing this in my backyard because I'm checking over my bike for tomorrow. Right, Krieger tool bag. What do I take? Well, pretty basic setup to tell you the truth. Just your normal basic setup. Wrenches, tyres, levers, Starkey, Allen keys that actually fit the bike, right? Some of these bikes, Allen keys come with it. What else have I got in here? I've got a bead buddy, so I have to take the tyre right off. I've got some tyre levers, bead breakers. Also, what else have I got up here? I've got my tyre repair kits, another tyre PSI gauge, and that's basically it, guys. So if we have a look at my tools, they're just the basics. You know, things that come loose, things that, you know, happen out on the field. And this is just a basic tyre repair, puncture repair kit. Pretty basic. They're all pretty much the same no matter where you get them from. And if it gets really drastic, I've got some tyre levers here, bead breaker, as I said before, all my axle nuts, a heavy duty tie down, and my air compressor. Look, there's lots of little compressors on the market. That's what I carry. It works really well. Even just like I'm going to check the tyres shortly and put the pressures up to 27. A lot of these Motols tyres over time, you know, if they're not ridden for 2 or 3 weeks, they will lose a bit of tyre pressure. So check them daily. So that's basically what I'm going to check on there. I'm going to go across the whole bike and just give it a quick check. And when we talk about pre-starts, you know what people are like with pre-starts at work. You know, a lot of people at work, whether on trucks, forklifts, whatever it is, their pre-start is basically a tick and flick. So they're not really checking stuff, and then sort of those habits go on to their normal cars and bikes. I think if you're going to ride out off-road away from everybody and you're in the outback, test all your stuff before you go. The other thing I'll do is I'll make sure all of my stuff is charged up. So if I'm taking the cameras with me, I don't take my action cameras every time. Just, hey, if I haven't been somewhere before, I'll take a quick clip. GPS, that's a Garmin Zumo. Helmet, you know, I've got the Cardo on there so I can listen to some music, or if it's a long ride, I may even put a podcast on and listen to someone. This is my latest, the Alpine Star Tech Off-Road. So that charges up. It's got a port in here, you just charge that up as well, and my InReach. So I'll carry a bit of a water bladder as well on there. That's the Krieger Hydro 3. So that just carries on there. And InReach just goes on the side. Good thing about these Krieger Hydro 3s, they've got the little clips on the side. So you can use the OS system on these. And Krieger do the OS 6 litre, 12 and 18. All of them fit on here. So you can actually create a day bag out of this. Really easy. Fill it up with 3 litres and put a small pack on it. Especially the 6 litre, it's not very big. So yeah, of course, you know, I've got the Tech 7s. I find them pretty comfortable. So that's what I do. I just make sure everything's charged up, checked everything. I mean, I don't go overboard and spend hours checking on this stuff. It's just a quick check over. Everything's charged. I'll check my kit. After I pump my tyres up shortly to make sure they're at temperature, or at PSI I should say, that then will go inside and get charged up again. So when I go out into the field tomorrow, if I have an issue, it's fully charged. I mean, most bikes have a USB port, so if you get really desperate and you run out of power, then you just use your port on your bike. And of course, you might have seen my setup before. Phone, charger, GPS, a couple of cameras up here. I've got the double take mirrors, just stuff that I've swapped out. And that's basically it, guys. So if this is going to be helpful, even these tools, it's just going to be helpful, share it with some other people and just say, hey, look, this is a pretty basic kit. So you don't have to carry the world. If you have to, that means you've got a really unreliable bike. I know guys that are carrying chains, they're carrying, you know, all sorts of different sprockets. Oh my God, some guys are carrying out of control stuff. Now, the biggest thing, as I've said, with your InReach, load your InReach up with all the different numbers that you need to contact people, so you can text someone and get them to come out and help you. What if you come off? You know, what if you're doing some of these solo rides and you come off and you've hurt yourself? Make sure that you've got an InReach. I know it's a bit of a cost up front and the monthly subscription you have to pay, but I've used it a couple of times when I've had breakdowns, not on the Ducati, just other things. You know, I use it everywhere. It's in the car, on the boat, it's on the bike. I use it pretty much everywhere. I think it's a fantastic tool, and it gives you peace of mind that if you break down, someone gets hurt in your group, you can contact someone. So that's basically it, guys. Hopefully that's helpful. Share it with other people if it's going to be helpful. Just a basic kit. I find it okay. And that's basically what I check when I go out on my rides. I'm just going to do a quick walk around, tighten up all the nuts, have a check, do the chain, oil it up, fuel it up, run the bike, test the oil levels, and that's pretty much it, guys. So hopefully that's helpful. Maybe put in the comments, well, what do you take? so other guys have some idea of several different people, what they take, what do they do, and it gives people that are new to writing some idea of what to do. Right, catch you on the next one. Thanks, guys.